Hello, my motor enthusiasts. You're tuned into F1 Motor Fever podcast, where the rubber meets the road.
Hello, Enzo Watts. Did you catch the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix? Quite the shake-up, wasn't it?
It certainly was, William. A real testament to the unpredictability of the sport. The race was won by one of our familiar faces, but had a surprise contestant.
You're talking about Charles Leclerc's surprise teammate, aren't you?
Indeed, young Ollie Bearman stepped up to fill in the gap left by Carlos Sainz, who sadly couldn't race due to appendicitis.
Quite a leap from Formula 2 to the big league. How did Bearman fare?
Far beyond expectations, Bearman's debut was quite successful, finishing in P7, ahead of seasoned drivers like Hamilton and Norris.
Incredible. He's only the third youngest driver to start an F1 race, right?
That's right, William. And according to Leclerc, this is just the beginning of Bearman's career in Formula 1.
And how about Ferrari's performance?
It's looking very promising. They are showing significant improvements, slowly closing the gap to the Red Bulls.
So, we might see Ferrari giving the Red Bulls a run for their money soon.
Quite possibly, William. In fact, Leclerc is currently in P3 in the driver's standings. It's only a matter of time before they put more pressure on their rivals.
Blimey, sounds like we have an exciting season ahead of us, doesn't it?
Switching gears, allow me to introduce us. My name is Enzo Watts, a dedicated motorsport enthusiast and your host for this journey. I've been interviewing key figures in the sport, uncovering the intricacies of team strategies, and diving into the historic rivalries that make Formula 1 what it is today.
And I'm William Turner, your co-host and commentator, hailing from Birmingham. My love for Formula 1 has led me to specialize in the sport, and I'm here to provide detailed commentary and analysis that will hopefully add some valuable insights for our listeners.
You're tuned into the F1 Motor Fever podcast, your daily dose of adrenaline-fueled news and analysis from the world of Formula 1. Remember, we're here every day, delivering the latest and most noteworthy discussions straight to your ears.
And don't forget, folks, your support is what keeps us going. So don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and drop a comment to let us know what you think. Sharing our podcast with fellow motorsport enthusiasts among your friends and family would be greatly appreciated too.
That's right, William. And just to give you a taste of what's to come, let's just say we have some surprising twists from the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix that you wouldn't want to miss. Stay tuned, because I promise you won't believe what's coming up next. We're going to discuss a potential rising star in Formula 1 and a team that's steadily getting closer to the top of the podium.
It sounds like we're in for a thrilling ride, Enzo.
Absolutely, William. So my fellow motor enthusiasts, let's put the pedal to the metal and go full throttle. The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix did offer us some surprising turns. Leclerc's teammate Bearman showcased an exceptional performance, didn't he, William?
Indeed, Enzo. It was quite an impressive debut for the young driver.
Absolutely. Despite being a Formula 2 contender, he stepped up to fill in for Sainz, who was down with appendicitis, and managed to finish in P7. He even outperformed Hamilton and Norris, two seasoned drivers. Quite a feat, wouldn't you agree?
To be honest, Enzo, I didn't quite follow. Could you explain that another way?
Of course, William. Bearman started the race in place of Carlos Sainz, who had to sit out due to a sudden bout of appendicitis. The young driver, who normally competes in Formula 2, jumped in and took over the Ferrari SF24. He didn't just participate, he finished ahead of some big names in 7th place.
Didn't quite catch that. What did you mean by him finishing ahead of some big names?
Well, William, in a sport where every second counts, finishing ahead of a 7-time world champion like Lewis Hamilton and a strong contender like Lando Norris is no small accomplishment. It goes to show just how much potential Bearman has.
Ah, I see. That certainly puts things into perspective. He must have thoroughly impressed Leclerc.
Definitely. Leclerc himself called Bearman's performance extremely impressive. He was particularly impressed with how Bearman handled the pressure, his calm approach, and how quickly he adapted to the car and the track. Leclerc sees a bright future for Bearman in Formula One.
From what you've shared, Enzo, it seems like Bearman is one to watch out for in the coming days.
Absolutely, William. It wouldn't be a surprise if we see him permanently in the Formula One paddock sooner rather than later. Let's talk about Ferrari's performance. Leclerc was quite optimistic about their improvements over the past 7 months, wasn't he, William?
Absolutely, Enzo. It seems that despite struggling to switch the tyres on at the beginning of the stints, they managed to recover towards the end.
That's right, William. Leclerc did mention that they were pretty good with the medium and the hard tires towards the end of the stint. He also seemed quite positive about the race overall.
Yes, Enzo, he did say, and I quote, "We maximised everything today." So it seems he is quite satisfied with the team's performance.
And not just that, William. He also mentioned that they are slowly closing the gap with the Red Bull team. He believes that if they keep improving as they have been over the last 6 or 7 months, it won't be long before they start putting more pressure on the Red Bulls.
Definitely, Enzo. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out in the upcoming races.
Absolutely, William. As of now, Ferrari trails Red Bull by 38 points in the constructors' standings, with Leclerc currently in 3rd place in the drivers' standings.
That's quite a challenge, but with the improvements they've been showing, it wouldn't be surprising if they steadily climb up the ranks.
Couldn't agree more, William Turner. And with Bearman's potential, Ferrari might just have the right mix to turn the tide. This will certainly make the upcoming season a thrilling one to watch. William Turner, have you had a gander at any internet chatter about the recent race?
I have, Enzo. Here's a post from someone named Catching Is One Thing. He says, quote, "Saudi Arabia GP had 25 overtakes. Bearman did most overtakes. Full data in the post," unquote.
Interesting. Bearman seems to be a hot topic. What are people saying about this?
User Tom Coburn says, quote, "Verstappen, Perez, Sainz, Sargent are the only drivers not to be overtaken this season. The 4 horsemen of F1 this season," unquote.
That's one way to put it. Anything else catch your eye, William?
Yes, there's an interesting discussion here. A user named Brian Davis pointed out that these 4 drivers have a combined 64 race wins and 3 championships between them. But then, the fallen soldier chimed in with a sarcastic remark. "Yeah, real shame they weren't able to take it to Lord Logan Sargent. He's just too dominant. It's killing the sport," unquote.
Some people certainly have a way with words. What else do people have to say?
Angry Washing Bear has a different take on the matter. He wonders if some of the F1 drivers are clinging on to their contracts for too long and suggests that younger talents like Bearman might be more capable.
That's quite a debate. Any concluding remarks, William?
Yes, one user, True Colors, sums it up in a cheeky way. "You didn't get overtaken because you were last. I didn't get overtaken because I'm fast. We are not the same," unquote.
Well, that certainly puts things into perspective. The world of F1 never fails to entertain us, does it, William Turner?
Indeed, Enzo Watts, it never does.
Thank you all for joining us here on F1 Motor Fever podcast. We've had a fantastic time dissecting the ins and outs of the recent race. Your presence and engagement mean the world to us. If you enjoyed this episode, do give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on our future discussions. And remember to share our podcast with other F1 enthusiasts in your life, be it on social media or during your coffee breaks.
Absolutely, Enzo. It's been an absolute gas, hasn't it? And as Enzo said, we're here every day, so you can always count on us for your daily dose of Formula One chit-chat. There's always something thrilling happening in the world of F1, and we can't wait to dive into it with you all.
We're incredibly grateful for all your support, and we're already revving our engines in anticipation for the next episode. Until then, keep the passion alive and stay tuned to F1 Motor Fever podcast for all things F1.
And as we always say, pedal to the metal. Keep your gaze on the road. Our channel's content is pure gold. Until next time.